back, guys. Liereyy against MbL quarterfinals, King of the Desert 2. I hope you had a small rest here. I didn't. And let's just jump into the series. Onlu again will be around and help us out because I'm still ill. Thank you for understanding.
Nilly, are you here?
Yes.
We are no stops, no breaks. Why would we ever think about eating when there's Age of Empires to watch?
Okay, first questions first. Do we switch to blue-red or do we stay on green-purple?
I'm on green-purple, but if you want to go blue-red, I'm fine with that.
Let's stay on... no. I think it's just blue-red might be better. Liereyy blue, MbL red?
Yep.
Okay. So, Chinese against Japanese. We took a look at the civilizations. The format of this tournament was... You aren't allowed to pick the same civilization twice in the first 3 rounds, and MbL had tougher rounds than Liereyy. Therefore, Liereyy probably with the better civilizations overall in this series here.
Yes, I would definitely agree. Considering I'm having to Alt-tab anyway to post the draft link in my chat because my mods are lazy.
Oh, God. Lazy mods.
I know. Yeah, Lierey's, being Liereyy, he has a fair amount of archer civs. MbL, yeah, I think MbL has a pretty nice balance of civs, though I think Lierey's are on a slightly higher power level.
Well. Stealing 2 of those sheep, and yeah, slightly higher power level. What do we still have? Aztecs, Mayans, Chinese, so there is surely with some powerhouses left here. And MbL, I talked to him in Manchester, he wasn't happy with that format, and well, he thought Liereyy is a so much better player, and with those civilizations, his motivation wasn't that high.
Just MbL things.
True.
It's not that big of a deal, I feel. I think MbL civs are fine. Like, you know, I think that this format, it obviously favors the people who are already very highly ranked and seeded. But I still think it provides this sort of interesting dynamic where you have to plan across rounds, which I do enjoy, and anything to like prevent us from seeing the same 3-4 civs over again.
Yeah, that's true. We have a lot of variety, so that's nice. And yeah, like we saw Byzantines win, for example.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Mongols beat Berbers, we saw Byzantines beat Chinese. Like, civs are really important, and especially when you're talking about one map, your sort of civ choices can be pretty, influential in terms of just how your series is going to look. You can sort of create your drafts based on your playstyle, based on, your approach to beating a specific player. So you can kind of like express yourself through your civ picks, which I like.
Express yourself through your civ picks. Oh boy. Okay.
It's what happens when I spend too much time at university.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but taking a look at the maps here, we already see Liereyy starting to wall himself in. As Chinese definitely are going to be, even with the power of Chinese in this format, you're still going to be pretty scared of Japanese men-at-arms.
Yeah, and we see Liereyy, he's going for men-at-arms as well here. Something we don't see too often. Oh, and loses his scout. That's a nice pick-off here for MbL.
Yeah, he lost it into the TC. Yeah, that is not what you want to be doing, especially, again, against Japanese men-at-arms. As we do have everybody's favorite historical matchup here, Chinese versus Japanese. But yeah, I mean, Chinese should be way better in the long run. But Japanese are going to be able to potentially put on a lot of pressure. But notably, this is a drush from MbL. This is not a strategy we see often at all in KOTD2 so far.
Oh yeah. No. He's up to feudal age. The overlay bugged.
Oh, is he?
I
okay.
don't see the tech to feudal age either.
Yeah, I don't.
In the overlay, but he is 85% feudal age.
Okay, that makes way more sense. Because I was like, wait, he's rushing, but he has 2 villagers on gold. I'm so confused.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, so we're all good. We did see Liereyy forced to create the extra militia, but actually MbL did anyway. Wanting to, preserve his advantage. And the armies are just kind of missing each other right now. Looks like both players are going to go right into archers. Do already have 3 farms, though, for MbL. Militia is going to be able to deny the archery range for a little bit. A little bit of blocking attempt there for Liereyy. Not going to be successful. What will force the deletion of the archery range. Meanwhile, I mean, MbL's still... He's still walking. He's got a ways to go before he hits any economy of his opponent.
And that's ugly for MbL. That he needs to pull all the villagers away from the berries here for now. Archer range quite late, and well, maybe he can return the favor and get some pickoffs here against the villagers on the zebras.
Lierey's villagers are just going for the zebra without a care in the world, and I guess MbL wasn't looking because the villagers walked right past the men-at-arms. And just that's a bit of a oversight there from MbL. Meanwhile, at MbL's own base, he has 7 idle villagers. His mill is being worked down. He needs to send his lumberjacks back to work, actually. Like, this is just such a messy start here for our red player.
Yeah, we cannot put that on civilizations for sure. It's simply that Liereyy walled a bit better, zoned out the armies a bit better. Let's take a look. Can MbL finally get 1 kill here? Goes to the outside. That means villager won't be saved, but also that means all the men-at-arms will be outside. Oh god!
Nilly, you were saying?
That all the men-at-arms are outside.
Yeah. Villager's totally safe.
Meanwhile, though, we were as focused as Liereyy on that situation, apparently. Liereyy lost all his men-at-arms.
Oh, that's awkward. But look at this, Nilly. Lierey's 4 villagers ahead right now. 5 even. Oh man, that is a massive deficit at this stage in the game.
But it's 2-8 military at the moment. You can make that 3-8. So MbL, he can still continue with some aggression. Thing is, do we need to defend?
Box formation.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the future. I think we will see people move with box formation way more in the future.
Yeah, especially with like low numbers of units. But yeah, we see MbL coming forward. He needs to get something done here because he's down 5 villagers. No fletching, obviously, just yet. Lierey's own fletching is on the way. And, well, there's 1 villager down for Liereyy, so MbL getting at least something done for the time being. But still has a little ways to go before he sort of equalizes things with his opponent.
And Lierey's preparing the tech switch. Goes for the stable. Does some damage against the men-at-arms here. He will be fine with defending this. And Liereyy goes for fletching as well. So pretty even there. So that's Liereyy willing to hold.
Yep. You see a lost scout there finally for MbL. Both players just kind of micro-dancing back and forth. I feel like in any situation where you have 2 players microing archers, I'm going to favor Liereyy. But MbL does have the hill on his side, and he also has, I think, a few more skirmishers as a component of his army. But, of course, Liereyy, just as I say that, nice snipe there onto an archer.
Okay, scouts. For now, complete surprise for MbL, who's adding mainly skirmishers, 1 archery range only. Kind of interesting that he never added a 2nd archery range. Would normally be the spot for it, right?
Yeah, you'd think so, and 2 of the men-at-arms are very low HP, so once they're just sniped, as I think Liereyy will try and focus, actually kind of missed-targeted, but now all 3 men-at-arms, now 2 men-at-arms are low HP. MbL grabbing Wheelbarrow, and yeah, just the 1 archery range, and then the blacksmith, and yeah, very sort of low unit production, but I feel like he sort of has the potential to get bopped once the scouts choose to engage. I mean, both men-at-arms are literally at 1 to 2 hits.
And they choose to engage now. Scouts are coming in. There's only 1 archer. I think they would just mob this so easily. It's kind of important that Liereyy isn't losing all his archers now. Tries to move away there. And yeah, he'll lose all his archers in exchange. But still, beautiful move here for Liereyy.
Yeah, a little bit of mismovement there from Liereyy. He moved to the left when I think he needed to move to the right or back. But, you know, in the end, it was an acceptable loss. And, of course, able to pick off so many scouts of his opponent. Scouts actually running right into the Japanese spearmen, but Nice little pullback there from Liereyy. He actually does have bloodlines now, which saved him right there.
And MbL
That's
is
gonna be
rushing a
stable.
stable out as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you think of skirmishers just as a unit these days for Arabia? Because I feel like a lot of people think that like skirmishers are even like too strong. Like we just see skirmishers all day, every day.
Well, they are one of like 4 or 5 feudal units. And I think we see
like,
archers, men-at-arms, and scouts as well. I think the only argument you could make is that spearmen aren't good enough. But the rest, everything seems fine.
Yeah. No, it's just I personally don't have like a big problem with skirmishers, but I did see some players like I think Viper was complaining about them.
Okay. It's tricky to fix them. Like, how would you
Yeah.
fix them? They have so low stats, so anything you change.
I think it was mostly a it's too easy to go for elite skirmishers.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
It's like that
I was
transition.
surprised by that as well, that they changed that price. Because Rise of Rajas, they
Yeah.
made that cheaper.
Yeah, anyway, big fight happening right here. Have the little bit of a micro dance. You have +1 defense for MbL, but the bloodlines for Liereyy, and looks like relatively even exchange, but we have to imagine that this is going to be favoring our blue player with the better eco.
Oh, he is already up to castle age here as well. 5 more villagers, adds archer range number 2, stable number 2 as well. That will be quite some damage output here. And some aggression. MbL trying to defend here. Does he maybe need a defensive tower?
Likely, but isn't that just going to get him even more behind? Because
Well,
then he wouldn't.
rather behind than dead.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a pretty tricky position here for MbL because Lier's going to hit Castle Age well ahead of his opponent, and knights plus crossbows right in the face of MbL is going to be a little bit tricky to deal with. We're going to see the knight play, of course, from MbL, but I mean Chinese. China has a desert. Japan doesn't. Chinese have camels. Japanese don't.
Huh.
Should be tricky.
And the eco advantage is on the side of the Chinese player as well. Farms more food, eco, all upgrades a bit cheaper as well. And Japanese, well, your reduced camps there isn't as important anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a dark early feudal age.
Double bit X from MbL.
Oof, the big oof there, and yeah, that is not what you want to be seeing at this point. Obviously, when you're going for heavy men-at-arm aggression, especially when you're going for the 4 men-at-arms, usually you have to delay your double bit axe, but a lot of players are so used to getting it, you know, as soon as they hit feudal age that they'll just forget about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be pretty rough there. Liereyy getting bowsaw, of course, crossbow bodkin, and making some knights, I assume. Yeah.
Oh, this will be tricky timing. I'm not sure if MbL might just die here.
I think MbL is quite likely to die right here. No knights here just yet. Liereyy actually has them rallied to his base, which isn't particularly useful in this situation for him. But, I mean, just crossbows, Castle Age units versus Feudal Age units, yeah, that's a pretty big difference. Most of the scouts have died at this point. Liereyy, turns out Liereyy still has good micro, in case some people might have thought that somehow he lost it. No, it's still there. He's still killing MbL, and MbL is dead. He's pretty dead right now.
And we have seen such an epic series number 1. Every game going longer than, I believe, like 48 minutes or something. And this is a very quick GG here. Everything is just getting smashed down. MbL maybe can clear up with knights, but honestly, he will lose so many villagers in the process.
Yeah, I mean, MbL has one more attack upgrade compared to Liereyy on his knights, but even then, that's not particularly great. MbL is, of course, going to be going for the extra TCs right away, like I predicted earlier, but that doesn't matter when you are very aggressively dying. That's GG.
And that's not the game MbL needed to start off the series to, well, get into the right mindset to maybe get the upset done for himself.
Yeah, I mean, especially with what you were saying, if MbL is not feeling like he can win this series like right off the bat, and this game is not going to boost his confidence.
Liereyy looked strong as well. Felt like not a single hiccup at his side. But also we have to say, Chinese pretty damn strong on KOTD Arabia.
Yeah, I don't have my stats sheet updated from the last series because there was no time. But we just double check real quick. Chinese, I think, the Chinese have a 75% win rate with 16 games played,
Okay,
not counting the last series.
that's solid.
So that is obviously insanely good.
Yeah.
And that's like taking into account that the really good civs tend to have like a lower win rate just because the worst players were ending up picking them because they felt like they needed it. So like Aztecs have like a 33% win rate, same for Mayans and Slavs and stuff like that. But nope, Chinese 75% win rate no matter what.
Yeah. Well, you could make an argument that 16 games isn't enough as a sample size, but surely it gives us an idea that they're performing pretty well on this map.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Also notably, though, that MbL did not pick as strong a civ as his opponent, like not even close.
Still okay-ish, but at 6 million, Slav, Berber, some real powerhouses left.
Yeah. But we'll be getting into this right away. None of the players wanting any
This
sort
is
of
game
break
after
here.
game today.
Yeah, it's a real marathon.
That's why we need so many casters for NSC2, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can just kind of like just rotate us. Well, like everyone else is just sleeping and eating.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I'm ready. Anyway, I'm also ready here for this game number 2 between Liereyy and MbL. Liereyy here in the blue to the south of the map. Aztecs really not pulling out any stops as far as civs go. Chinese, then Aztecs. And then, of course, MbL in the red as the Ethiopians here to the northeast-ish, but he's pretty far away from the edge of the map. And yeah, so
that's short distance, right? Look at how far MbL is inside of the map. Open gold spot. That's like, how much is that away? Like 2 screens away, the 2 TCs?
If you're centering the screen on the TC, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like that was like the first thing I noticed is like MbL's pretty far away from the edge of the map, and then of course like consequently that means you're closer to your opponent, and this is a very short rush distance, and these are 2 civs that can be incredibly strong with the aggression. And especially with how bad MbL's map is, of course, first thing we have to point out right there is that his gold is forward behind a wood line.
That's weird.
That's not great. Wood line also forward. He does have secondary gold like off to the north. Actually, 2 secondary golds to the north that he can take comfortably. But that's just very far away, very exposed. And I would not be surprised if we saw some heavy feudal aggression, considering as far as Lierey's base goes, it's not great either.
Well, yeah, that's true. Everything on the hill. But I still feel, if MbL is not calling a restart here, he needs to go for full YOLO. Like 4-man-at-arm, full aggression, followed up by aggressive archer range or something.
Oh, I totally agree. Of course, they still have another 40 seconds or so to call the restart. But do you call the restart now, or do you do it if you get lamed? I guess Lierey's not really a player who would be very lame heavy, especially compared to his opponent.
Well, the thing is, maybe it just feels, okay, in this Civ matchup, I'm most likely going to lose anyways. I would just go for a reset on another scenario, but also if you don't reset now, it's likely that you will go down to 0. Or maybe it just feels, okay, Lierey's at the left-hand side and the gold isn't that bad. Defensive berries, okay-ish woodline from the size, and maybe just wants to play with it.
Yeah, I mean, is Ethiopians that bad against Aztecs? I mean, yeah, Aztecs are going to have the slight edge, I feel, but I mean, Eagles die to show tells like really bad.
Well, you need to get to that first. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. But Ethiopians do have the early game. I mean, you do have the +100/+100, and if you go for men-at-arms and forward and stuff like that, I mean, you also have the faster firing archers. And of course, like if the Aztec player is going for archers themselves in the Castle Age, you'll have the better archers by far, since Aztecs don't have thumb ring. I think it's at least manageable.
Oh, Boar of Liereyy. Okay, now coming back.
Yeah, nice job there by him.
Okay, so the big problem is also that if you don't get the castle up, you cannot really defend with knights against mass eagles, right? Because you don't have bloodlines, so this is going to be tricky.
Yes. Also, MbL doesn't have like any villagers on wood. I mean, he has 2 villagers on wood, but it's not many. That might sort of indicate that he wants to do something aggressive, considering he's getting loom on pop 20.
Well, could be the early men-at-arms we wanted to see. Let's take a look. Does he have enough food? Yeah, looks like it.
That's 20 pop. As Ethiopians.
Solid. That will be a solid build-up by him.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Yeah, he oh no. Second lumber camp. Is
wait,
that
so what is he
scouts? Ethiopian scouts, Ondu?
Someone needs to tell MbL that Ethiopians don't have bloodlines.
Well, scouts are still somewhat okayish, at least at the start, but still.
Like, on a list of powerful things you can do with Ethiopians, it's like last. Like, you have a really strong men-at-arm rush, you have really strong archers, and you have a, you know, if your map is really good, you can go for Drush FC quite comfortably. So it's like, why this? And also, I guess just to point out, Lierey's going for 22 pop men-at-arms by the looks of things, just total standard stuff.
Yeah, I'm still curious what we will see. Okay, now 2 villagers on gold for Liereyy. Could make an argument for Aztecs to only send 1 and a bit earlier, but 2 is pretty standard as well if you want to transition into archers or eagles later on. And, well, we will see the stable from MbL kind of blocking his gold there as well.
I guess I would have preferred like the palisade like 1 tile further, but you know, it's minor stuff. We'll be safe as far as being constructed before the scout or the men-at-arms show up. Militia, you just get through enough units and eventually you'll hit the right one. But yeah, of course, going up on 20 pop seems to be the best way to deal with the early sort of men-at-arm plus forward play, which is exactly what Lierey's going for. And I think that MbL will have as good a chance as he could to deal with this.
He's going for it. MbL is pulling villagers.
Yeah, I thought those were just to repair the gate at first, but no, he's going. This is odd.
What is this?
I mean, Lierey's running away.
Okay. Now he's trying to engage with his men-at-arms.
Nice micro from MbL.
Spearman is now coming over. Not a lot of losses as of yet. Villager might go down. MbL for now, no losses. This was okayish for him.
Nearly. Remember when we were talking all last series? Oh, wait. Spearman arriving, hasn't gotten a single poke in just yet. And now Lierey's forced back. Scout's going to outrun that Spearman and possibly snipe the low HP villager.
Alright, let's take a look. She is at 1 HP, tries to get home though.
MbL a little bit missed movement. I mean, it was a nice move for Liereyy as well, but obviously a little bit of a missed opportunity. Gonna try for a little bit more of a snipe, but those scouts are such low HP. MbL pulling back the lower HP scout, and these 2 scouts can kill the archer until the spearman arrives. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah. As we were saying, like all throughout the last series, we were talking about, okay, the value of going for the men-at-arm upgrade first or the spearman first, and we were saying that in the 20 pop uptime scenario, that's when you want to go for the spearman, and then Liereyy went for the men-at-arm upgrade first, and I feel like that is exactly why MbL was able to pull that off.
Oh man, and someone in my chat just saying the 3,500 games against Vivi paying off for MbL.
Yeah.
Some crazy aggression, and I've never seen that from Liereyy before. Just random 2 villager forward.
It didn't look Like, you could tell that that was not Vivi going for that aggression.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between 4 villagers, yeah.
Yeah. Lierey's not a person in my experience casting it who really favors the aggression. Like, Lierey's like the execution based player. I've always felt
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he wants to go for just, you know, as perfect a build order and micro and just unit control as much as possible.
yeah. Somewhat similar to the Viper.
Yeah, definitely similar, though I'd say Viper is probably more likely to go for like a boomy sort of defensive playstyle, whereas I feel like Liereyy is probably a more like aggressive, like especially in Castle Age.
Yeah, he will take those 8 crossbowmen to the front.
Yeah,
and make
exactly.
something happen. Yeah.
But anyway, MbL just getting up his own archery range, just sort of normal stuff. MbL saying, well, I can pretend I'm Huns too. But actually, wait, MbL's making a militia.
That's a misclick, right?
That has to be a misclick.
Oh no. Or is he trying to debate?
No, that's a misclick. That has to be a misclick.
That's so weird.
Wait a minute. No, that doesn't make any sense, because why would you make a spearman against a Meso Civ?
Yeah, I think but misclick, maybe it's the same hotkey, the scout and the militia.
Oh, that's true, because if...
Oh no,
MbL...
no, it's men at arms.
Okay, no, it is men-at-arms. But yeah, if... I know at least for me, and I use mostly the default AOC hotkeys, Spearman is S, and the Swordsman line is also S, so... There was a possibility, but, I mean, he's predicting the Eagle play, and Liereyy, he's kind of, going halvesies with Eagles and Skirmishers.
What? Spearman and Swordsman line is S?
No,
Something has to be scouts from that, what you said.
No, sorry, I was saying Scouts. Yeah, Scouts is S, and Spearmen are E for me.
Okay. No, I can't follow it at all anymore. Okay, so Blacksmith now.
But yeah, regardless, the Men-at-Arms will do incredibly well versus the Eagle Warriors.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, finally.
There we go. This is what happens when you make Ornlu cast without coffee. But yeah, I mean, I think that this should just be an easy fight for MbL, if he's even remotely careful, which of course he is.
Yeah, wants to debate some with the scouts, but actually doesn't really want to take any damage. Oh! Goes for the aggression. I think he could have snagged a bit more there. But
yeah,
he feels like he needs to do some damage now.
I guess he is. I mean, he's ahead 3 villagers. I guess that has to be just wheelbarrow. But yeah, skirmishers, of course, here for both players. Both have the fletching upgrade, nothing else. And yeah, this is just going to come down to pure control. Both have pretty diverse armies, especially for the feudal age.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that army composition here. Archers need to be sniped away from Liereyy. He is staying double eagle archer skirm composition. Meanwhile, MbL, what is he producing? Men at arms skirm. Now he's going for it.
Oh, going for it. The spearman got a poke off and killed a scout right away, but 1 archer lost for Liereyy. This, like, I feel like it's so rare where you see feudal age fights where both players at least should have 3 hotkeys of soldiers.
Yeah.
The Lierey's clicking up to the castle age. Obviously, his.
How is he clicking up to castle age? I thought we were feudal age on it.
No, Lierey's army barely costs any food. I mean, Eagles are pretty much, you know, almost food free, and it's only been 1 archery range worth of skirmisher production, and he hasn't really been focusing on blacksmith upgrades much, and of course Aztec farmers to boot.
And MbL is now switching up his strategy away from killing army to killing houses. But he needs to win, or like he needs to take a decisive engagement in the next minute.
Yeah, think about how much food is in the army of MbL. All of the swordsmen, all of the archers, all of the scouts, and plus 1 armor, and then +1 for +1/+1 for the archers. So yeah, this is so much investment in the for MbL, but it's gonna be a bunch.
GG.
I could not have said it better myself there.
What was that?
Does MbL really? Is he really trying?
Oh god, that was so horrible. And he thinks, okay, let's regroup. Maybe I can take another engagement here in Feudal Age. And Liereyy will reach Castle Age and MbL will just tilt GG.
There is 1000% going to be a tilt GG coming in here.
Oh, goddy.
And...
Oh, okay. MbL goes for it. 500 food,
MbL.
250 gold. Did we have
Showing
Man-at-Arms added for Liereyy?
Yep. I mean, why not? And arms kill everything that your opponent's doing.
GG,
Okay,
well
there we go.
played. Oh god.
Nearly, I have the feeling that this series might be a little bit faster than the last one.
Potentially. Oh god. That's sick.
This is just such a weird follow-up to the last series.
Yeah. Oh god, that was sick.
That was just a crazy feudal age there.
Not really sure what to say. Well, obviously that engagement was horrible there. It wasn't really engagement, it was running away and then being just smashed down.
Yeah.
And yeah, it might just be a motivational problem for MbL as well. The opens against Ad6 there.
I mean,
and that horrible map.
Yeah, it was a really bad map. But he says, yeah, turns out Melamadre says, yeah, turns out top tier civs are much stronger than mid tier and with the hands of Liereyy. But like that wasn't like a civ thing, I feel. Like, yes, Aztecs are good, but that was just weird.
Yeah. I think it's just a big mindset thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up next? Slav.
With everything on the line, what does MbL pick here?
I think he will go for Spanish YOLO.
Yeah, Spanish YOLO works. I think Liereyy is incredibly likely to pick Mayans. Because why not?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah. I think he wants to avoid Mayans in this one. I think he will throw out a weak civilization. Like, I think he might go Berbers.
But we get the civs reset after this one,
Yeah,
right?
I know. But still, in the series, like, it's likely that MbL will play something all-inish now. And against all-ins, your civ isn't that important.
True. Well, unless you have, like, a good civ defensively against all-ins.
Yeah, Berbers is pretty good against Tower Rush. Because your villagers are walking faster.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, Berbers against Spanish might be what I expect.
Right.
And you are right.
Yeah, well, you're right on the Spanish pick, though, so we'll go halvesies on that one. Yeah, so, yeah, I think got Mayans versus Spanish here. Liereyy in the east of the map in the blue as the Mayans, of course, and in the west of the map in the red as the Spanish will be MbL. Totally getting bopped in the first two games. Never made it, 2 minutes into the Castle Age. And yeah, let's see if he can get something to happen here with his tournament life on the line.
I'm curious how his mindset will be. And as I said, in Manchester, he was just like, this is a joke. Liereyy has all the civilizations. Nearly, what should I do? And now he just instantly calls a restart.
That's a good restart. Everything's on the line and your map is god-awful.
But wasn't that the choice for game 2 as well?
Game 2, you still have another game, right? Like,
yeah, and
you can go aggressive.
Maybe for game 2 he already knew his strategy beforehand. And with that strategy, your map isn't that important.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of Mayans versus Spanish? Because you kind of have the battle of the unique units there.
Yeah, I don't think we will see plumes against Kongs.
You don't? You think we're going to be seeing towers against towers?
I think we will see towers, yeah, from MbL.
Okay.
I think yeah, what else can he play?
Well, I mean, if you go tower rush into Kongs. I mean, that's actually probably standard
Yeah,
for Spanish.
But let's go back. Don't you think Berbers would be the better pick for Liereyy now? Because Spanish felt obvious.
Well, Berbers aren't that great against Spanish.
Well,
Camel
simply
Archers
against
don't
Tower
do
Rush, they're the best compared to Mayans and
in
Slavs.
Tower Rush, I mean, I think that Mayans and Berbers are like approximately equally good.
Why?
But I feel like Berbers in the Castle Age, you have the cheap knights and stuff, as well as of course, the faster villagers to chase down towers when they're being constructed. So actually, for that, yeah, I think you've sold me. I like Berbers more.
And you have just an easier game with Mayans against Malians and Mongols after that as well.
Yeah. Well, Malians can be a little bit tricky. But I think it's still pretty decent. And yeah. But we'll have to see if we even get there. If MbL can actually do something in this series, get more than like 10 kills.
Well, what do you think about him calling restart at 1 minute 40 seconds instead of waiting for 4 minutes?
That is MB tilt, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Because there's no reason why you wouldn't wait until 3:59 to call a restart in any situation. Because, you know, in case people don't know, it's because maybe your opponent also has a terrible map and they would call restart, and then, you know, they'd use their restart and you wouldn't. So
look at Liereyy.
You know.
He instantly goes for the penis lane. If you click at the minimap, Fog of War.
Oh boy, the penis lane. Oh man, never heard that one before. But yeah, no, that's accurate. Yeah, so I think that this sort of thing is even more possible with KOTD2 because you have the goats, and for some reason goats see better than sheep. And
I heard that that's only true for llamas, not for goats.
No, like, I mean, I'm sure you've played this map. You see the goats with the better line of sight. Just click Lierey's POV and you see the goats have, I think, 3 tiles?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, and sheep only have the
2 tiles.
Like 1 or 2 tiles, yeah.
Okay. Then my chat was wrong.
Chat wrong?
Happens.
Heresy is the team you play on. Oh my god. Anyway, map for MbL is looking still pretty bad. It's really bad.
Very open gold spot, wood in the center, berries close by at least, but pretty much unwallable, lots of hills against him. He cannot be happy with this.
Yeah. I worry for the tilt levels of MbL. At least he has a lot of his mineral resources in the back of his base. So if he somehow, you know, he doesn't like go crazy all in and he makes it to the Castle Age and he somehow manages to like wall off his base, he's set. He's got both of his golds in the back. Actually, all 3 of his golds in the back. He has his secondary stone in the back. But, I mean, and a woodline, yeah. And zebra, all 4 resources.
Well, let's see. We are still expecting a Thrush, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, all of this conjecture is, like, assuming that this game goes past some sort of degenerate Thrush fest, which is, you know, not incredibly unlikely.
Then let's take a look at the map of Liereyy. How well can he defend against Thrush?
Well, his map's not great himself. He has the forward woodline, the forward stone, but he does have this stone that's way off to the, I guess, southwest of his base.
Yeah, didn't scout that one though yet.
No, he's a couple tiles off, unfortunately for him. But I feel like if you're against Spanish, and actually Lierey's luring the zebra here, I think that's a little too greedy of him. I think, especially against Spanish or Koreans, like, you just want to scout where all your stones are, like, right away.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, that has to be too greedy from Liereyy, right?
Yeah, I think so as well. And he didn't find 4 of his sheep. So I think more scouting would be so much better for him. Oh, actually, like, he found 2.
Well, he's missing 4 goats. Oh, no, never mind. He must have seen it, but not taken them.
That's a weird barracks placement. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
That's not creating the wall?
Yeah, what? What's the point of that barracks? I don't know.
So Liereyy goes man-at-arms. MbL as well.
I mean, MbL is almost certainly a man-at-arms towers, right?
Well, I don't see anything going for stone yet, but you don't need that for now. Liereyy scouts the stone in the back.
Okay, that's really good for him. Like, just when we were seeing Liereyy missing some of his resources, like, I had a flashback to the ECL game, Liereyy against Tim, when Liereyy just didn't scout some of his resources because he was going for, like, all of the luring, and then Tim just killed him.
Yeah, the medi game.
Yeah, the medi game.
Yeah.
I was casting that with the man. That was insane.
And Liereyy is now going for the aggression.
I mean, I feel like trushing Spanish is a risky proposition, to say the least.
Shouldn't work. MbL is sending 2 villagers on stone himself, but non-aggressively. What does MbL see? Sees the barracks. Weird.
Yeah, this is definitely pretty weird. The militia even having to take the long way around. I guess they're going for the scout there, but...
Because the barracks was placed so weirdly.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Are the shifts reverse or something? Liereyy is playing Spanish here.
Yeah. I mean... This is so strange. I mean... Okay, now MbL is going forward, but that's really late. That's, like, really late.
Yeah. So both playing Spanish. What do they know? MbL doesn't have that much of intel.
MbL, of course, establishing a critical palisade wall in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's what you do to send your villagers, and then they attack back wolves. Because they have a task. If you just right-click somewhere, they don't fight back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why you build
See?
those.
Pro moves. But, okay, Watchtower coming in, and is MbL aware that this is a thing? No, he is not.
Oh, this will be so ugly.
So he's gonna have his one wood line denied, he's gonna have his berries denied, he's gonna possibly lose a villager.
Oh no, oh no.
Both are like 1 HP. Oh man, she's literally 1 HP, but she makes it to the town center.
And now MbL's woodline. What is he doing there? How is he saving those villagers? He isn't.
What? No, yeah.
He's fighting?
I mean, on the other side of the map, MbL is tower rushing Liereyy, and Lierey's in a really bad spot to defend it, so this is going to be, everybody's going to be losing a lot this game right now.
But MbL's not really losing villagers.
The trap!
Oh, okay, finally 2.
Oh my god.
That's 3 villagers going down.
Okay. I expect to see several posts in the Balance Discord later about gates.
Okay, but Liereyy will lose 1 villager as well in exchange. Make that most likely 2. Most likely 2. Most likely 2. Most likely... Oh no.
You know what? If MbL was Berbers, man, you would have gotten it.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right, you're right.
Okay. KD 4-1 now.
Obviously, much better start here for Liereyy. And those 4 deaths, as far as I know, were all villagers. So 4 villager lead here for Liereyy on top of everything else.
Oh, Liereyy, can he get the quick walls up? Still needs 1 more at the top here against the scout. Yes, he will.
Lierey's fine. Another tower coming in, though, from MbL. Actually is taking wood to the south of Lierey's base, because why not?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. If it wasn't for, that the villagers need to go aggressively anyways.
Yeah, notably, MbL only has 2 villagers on stone, so he's not going to be able to just constantly be dropping towers. Ooh, actually, did he get another villager kill? I think he did. Or maybe that's just a man-at-arm.
5-2, don't really know.
Regardless, I think Liereyy is none the wiser for this tower.
Oh god, look at that. Oh god, look at that.
Oh, he's building an outpost, but that's a little awkward. Oh, but MbL is going to be losing his palisade wall at home. There is so... Like, he just had to keep on jumping back and forth, and usually someone's losing something somewhere.
Yeah, it's so brutal. Villager might be saved. Liereyy not taking care of his man-at-arms. It's just so much going on at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, both of these guys are extremely fast players, but there's only so much APM a human can have. And oh no, that's really sloppy for Liereyy.
Oh, 2 big losses. That was a good 20 seconds for MbL.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, you can see the KD almost evened up at this point. MbL is still down 2 villagers, and Liereyy has the larger army though, but towers are in a pretty nice spot for him, and both these men-at-arms are such low HP for Liereyy. Like, they're, again, like, an errant breeze could kill them. Oh, wait, MbL losing a men-at-arm. This men-at-arm's got 1 hit off, but it will end up dying. Kill-death ratio is still dead even. It's a big old villager fight right now. This is Age of Empires. This is this game.
This is this game, yeah. Again,
this is
men-at-arms of Liereyy under the TC, losing another one.
Oh, we lost another one there? Oh, man.
Now trying to rush the tower. Karok is sending some energy.
Losing another villager there. Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Oh, now, of course, we see Liereyy rushing this tower, but there is a men-at-arm here. Yes, it has half health, but that's still going to be doing a lot of damage to these villagers.
Oh, man, we could do a fail compilation out of this game that makes them look like 1500s. Just because there's so much going on.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to like look at like one section of the map, like never look at the other side of the map, and you'd think it's like a 1500 game. Anyway, what goes up faster, the 5 villagers building the watchtower or the 3 Spanish villagers?
I think somewhat evenish. I think slightly faster the 5 villagers. But Liereyy, he's trying to gate this.
Yeah. Well, villagers can garrison the tower. There is an Eagle Scout that was made for Mr. Liereyy.
Liereyy 35 HP or 35 food on this villager will go down.
Where did that villager die? Or like, where was she? Or 2 villagers now down for Liereyy.
Under the TC.
Yeah. Regardless, MbL doesn't have an army right now, whereas Liereyy does. Of course, like, the armies aren't usually doing like a huge amount right now, but it does really help in terms of killing your opponent's villagers under towers. And MbL actually sniped another villager. Liereyy was trying to go take the forage bushes, but not going to be too successful in that. And now MbL, only 2 villagers behind, even has the KD lead right now.
Yeah, but look at the military count. 6-1. Archer production and Eagles started. They will intercept those villagers, and this is going to be ugly for MbL, who is going for an even bigger tower rush now. Send massive amount of villagers back on stone.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think this is a bad idea, but I feel like it might be too late, possibly. There is another full HP men-at-arm who's just arrived at the party, and this men-at-arm will likely buy enough time for these villagers to get the tower up, but it's like, okay, the tower's up, but like there's a bajillion things here for Liereyy, and it's just going to die instantly.
Won't even go up, and MbL is trying to run to the other tower. Let's take a look. Liereyy, he defended that off, not underreacting at all. And MbL, 2 villagers behind. Again, another raid at the gold spot.
Again, I think that also because Lierey's position in the series, he can afford to, say, play like extra safe and, like, you know, pull 6 villagers as opposed to like 2. Because, you know, he has the extra games he can fall back on, and he's even a little bit ahead in this game as well. Okay. Whereas I feel like MbL, like, he has to go for like these huge plays, otherwise he's just going to fall behind again and lose.
Yeah, it's also in Castle Age, like, he will use up so much of his stone. The other stone spot not really in his control at the moment. So, transition into Kongs, not really on the menu yet.
How close is MbL even to clicking up?
Yeah,
not
100 food.
Close.
But yeah.
Look at Liereyy. Lierey's just got clicked fletching, but he's got 350 food in the bank. That make that 430, and yikes.
He'll just stay on archers as well. And will potentially raid with some of his eagles. Oh, this is so ugly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what MbL's best bet here is. He's going to need another tower to defend his stone mine. I don't think he actually has wood. Okay, no, he does have wood income in the middle of the map, and that's something, but it is still likely to be harassed by archers unless he gets another tower, which again limits his potential stone. Tower in the southwest of MbL's TC, or Clear's TC, my bad, will be scouted and picked off.
Yeah,
Though one
that's
villager is killed by MbL, so it's at least a 1-for-1.
right, 1 for 1. But meanwhile, losing 3 more villagers at the wood line in the center, pretty ugly for him. Eagles now coming in for the raid at the gold spot as well. MbL, well, with the market, he wouldn't be too far away from Castle Age actually.
Yes, but Liereyy himself is just about to click up, and he's losing even more villagers right now. This is... Oh boy. Yep, Liereyy gonna click up in just a second, and MbL is... Well, with the market... Actually, does he even have a blacksmith? No, MbL doesn't have any feudal age buildings.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So no, he's totally screwed. He is very screwed. Yeah, he has like no stone income, or not stone, wood income right now. He's just getting up this lumber camp, and yeah, he's never going to be able to get the wood for a market and a blacksmith.
Oh yeah. Yeah, will take some time for sure, and that's just ugly how he was raided there over and over again in his wood line. And Liereyy, maybe 3-0ing MbL here without a single game going to the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, like you couldn't have two more different games, or two different series between the first series and the second series. First series, super close, super long games, like very much like sort of mechanics driven, like decision making, army compositions and stuff like that. And this series was just a total mess. It was a one-sided mess.
Yeah, Liereyy losing archers at the front again looked bad, but meanwhile he was killing some villagers at the other side again. Oh man, this is just so weird, this game.
Should be a Castle Age GG, I feel.
Potentially as well. Let's take a look.
And...
Well, he will continue to play.
Yeah. Gonna be, of course, buying a blacksmith. And then beyond that, we'll be able to click up to the Castle Age pretty soon. And indeed, that should be the case.
No crossmen coming forward. Gold still unprotected. Castle Age click up now. Moves out a bit over. And oh god, I think those towers, I wanted to say, aren't overlapping. But now with the third one, they surely are.
Yeah, definitely. MbL, of course, grabbing fletching on top of it should help, give him coverage. And he should at least be somewhat safe here, I think. Yeah, Crosswind forced away for the time being, but it's just Lierey's going to climb so far ahead in economy, as MbL is stuck with plenty of idle villagers, and of course his TC is technically idle in terms of villager production because he is stuck researching Castle Age, so Liereyy should just climb further and further ahead.
But now also building all those defensive towers means he needs to buy himself a castle. Price at the moment is at 174 gold per 100 stone.
Yeah, that's not a cheap castle. And Liereyy doesn't even need to go plumed archers. He can just keep making cheap Mayan crossbows. Just keep sending them out.
MbL buying himself 500 stone. Still not enough. Loses 3 more villagers under his TC as well. Pop 38 against 63.
Yeah.
Like what farm eco is he having to build conks as well?
He has a farmer. That one farmer is going to feed all the geesers. Oh, nope, it's going to be 2 farmers. That is a 100% increase in farm production.
Even going for 2 relics already. Goes for the university. Second TC for him. Runs around with the crossbows a bit more. Goes for sanctity.
This castle doesn't even do anything.
Well, it's controlling stone, wood, and some of the gold. But
yeah, but it doesn't, like, actively deny Liereyy any resources he was already trying to take. And he got the castle! Yay!
Hey.
though. He does have a couple conquistadors queued up, but boy oh boy do they have their work cut out for them. They need to get literally 20 plus villager kills to make this game even.
Yeah, true. How can they achieve that? Ballistics now. How many monks do we have? I think we already have like 3-4 monks as well for defense. Okay,
yeah, 3 monks.
Up.
Well, monks there for the conversion.
Not even in the first villager kill.
Nope. You do need, of course, 3 conquistadors to one-shot villagers. And Lierey's getting town patrol.
Oh wow, that's a pretty costly upgrade.
It's a very costly upgrade.
I'm not sure if I've ever done that in Castle Age.
Oddly enough, I've seen MbL do it in Castle Age.
Sick. Okay.
But not seen too often. Personally, I'd like to see the gold cost removed on that upgrade. Like 300 food is still a lot for Castle Age.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. Would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Another villager snipe there for Liereyy. Of course, he does have ballistics on top of everything else. Conversions not successful. Liereyy does have Sanctity though.
Oops.
Nope. But
thing is, even if he takes some damage, some splash damage from the mangonel, he can just easily heal up those Trustman again. Monks just continue. This is the one all-in push from MbL. Otherwise, he's out of KOTD2.
Yep. This is definitely the last hurrah, and the mangonel was able to bunk. To be fair.
Oh, Liereyy, he's screwing up a bit.
Liereyy is definitely screwing up a little bit. Monk's taking a lot of rocks to the face. They're not dying yet. And I guess... well... this push is still fairly scary for Liereyy to deal with. Double Siege Workshop even.
Okay. That's one snipe.
One.
Okay.
One. You know, at least MbL is doing all the things that could possibly ever get him back in the game.
Yeah, like he's playing it right from this moment on.
Yeah.
Or maybe even from the start, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Liereyy was able to snipe most of the mangonels at this point. There are currently only 2 left. The monks are healing up each other. You know, little powwow to heal rocks. Oh, that was a nice snipe there for MbL, actually.
Yeah. What a weird dance.
Yeah, we're looking. Yeah, no, it's quite a lot of micro, obviously, from both players.
But don't forget, behind this, we have double the villager amounts for Liereyy, so every second he's not dying to this is the second that brings him closer to the semifinals.
Exactly. And the winner of this this quarterfinal will face the winner of
Jinghua Vivi.
Yes. Which, if we get a Liereyy Vivi match, which is what I would predict, that would be pretty crazy to watch.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. A lot of people fear for Liereyy then.
No, I know that when I made my my brackets for like on challenge, I had a few things I got wrong, obviously, but I had the quarterfinals of Yo, Liereyy, Viper, Vivi, and then I have Viper beating Yo and Liereyy losing to Vivi, and then the Viper Vivi finals.
Oh, interesting. Okay. But you also had Jinghua beating Doubt, right?
Oh, obviously. That was like the easiest one ever.
Okay, okay. So we all agreed.
Yeah. Also, Tim losing the LAN. Easy.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
But... well, this game's still going on, but Lierey's up to the Imperial Age. Well, he's clicked up to the Imperial Age.
It's so weird that we are like watching at this one spot for so long. MbL just trying to make something happen. Double mangonel production for both of them. Monk's doing some healing. Once we have Bracer, it's obviously completely over. But
Yeah.
even if he loses all his army, kind of tricky to not call it over. Although, like losing all the crossbowmen now against the mangonel, he could lose a lot of villagers.
Yeah, he could lose a lot of villagers, and I mean, we do have to remember that Liereyy does not have a castle to sort of fall back to.
Yeah, honestly, like if Liereyy is simply screwing up and losing all his army, MbL might actually be winning this. But I don't see Liereyy losing all his army.
Yeah, the problem is Lierey's not going to have a lapse in micro that would cause him to lose his entire army. He's even on spread formation right now, just to minimize the impact of any mangonels and also, I guess, potential misfires from the conks.
I'll go for some conversions here. Mangonel at the front, 7 HP, will trade off its life against the other one. And MbL, in his longest game of this quarterfinal, will wait Liereyy to reach him.
And there we
GG.
go.
Instant resign. This is a spot where you don't have a loser's interview.
No. This is not the time for a loser's interview. Pro tournament host Nilly. No.
Oh man.
But still very well played from Liereyy, even if he's not the most, I guess, active on the ladder. Still definitely showing that when it comes to high pressure scenarios, he knows how to perform.
So, two finalists, Mr. Yo and Liereyy being set here.
Yeah, I think if you were to ask me who are, top 4 players for Unvon Arabia, I would probably list both Yo and Liereyy. So I think that
most likely
not too surprising.
MbL could be on that list as well, honestly. Vivi, Viper, that makes a lot of sense. Jinghua, certainly not on that list.
No, definitely not. And to be fair, he had a little bit of an easier bracket, especially with Doubt. But Jinghua has actually been playing well. I was very impressed with how he's played in his matches.
Yeah. So, sweet stuff, Mr. Onlu. It was a pleasure to cast with you. You made my life so much easier.
I do my best, Nilly. I'm sorry you're sick, but it was a lot of fun, and great series.
Okay.
Well, the first series.
The first series was good. The second one, not that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great one, my friend.
You too.
See ya.
See ya.
Oh boy, I'm so sick. So I'm not really sure. The thing is, I can't really sleep at night, so there's a potential that I will just stop streaming now. We'll just eat some, drink some, relax some, and we'll be back streaming in 2-3 hours. Just a casual, like midnight to 5 a.m. session, because that's how my sleeping rhythm is at the moment. Great stream and casting. Thank you so much. I think it was one of my worst castings in a very long time, but still, thanks for the kind words. And yeah, the series will make it onto YouTube today. Make sure to check out MemTV's channel as well, the main host of this tournament, King of the Desert 2. And King of the Desert 1 will also be a caster at NAC 2. Can you check Twitch Whisper? I can. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's directly jump into the next game. And let's take a look what will happen here. Oops, what is going on? The game ended. That's because the series is already over. this is just a VOD to avoid some spoilers. So yeah, you already saw the series till the end, and this is just a VOD without any content coming up, and therefore you can now close the video, and I hope you didn't get spoiled before at YouTube. Enjoy, guys.